Here we go. I was waiting. I'm like, okay, where is it? When's it rolling? When are we starting? Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you've had a good weekend. So, first of all, before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat, no racism, no nastiness. So let's just have a good chat. We'll discuss some things. You can agree or disagree, which is perfectly fine. I haven't got a problem either way. You can think whatever you want to think, and that's okay. All right. So I wanted to talk about before we jump into the topic. I want to talk about the other day, and I'm talking about heat stroke. Okay, I had heat stroke one time, and it was bad. I didn't realize I had overdone it. Somebody in the comments, and I wanted to address this. Okay, they were like, "Well, why don't you cut the grass?" Um, did any other beehives form in that extra box? Not to my knowledge at this point. No, I missed the swarm. I think I know when the swarm happened, but I missed it. So I something that I saw, at that point in time. So yeah, I just I hopefully the next swarm will catch whatever when that happens. So right now we should be good to go. But actually, I wanted to talk about, like I said, I've had heat stroke before, and it sucks. It's not fun. Okay, yeah, I'm absolutely fine. But what happened was, so somebody had asked me in the comments, and so I want to kind of like do this in steps. So I explain myself, if you will. Somebody said, well, why don't you cut the grass first thing in the morning? Like between 8 and noon, and before it gets too hot. Why are you cutting the grass later in the day? Okay. So first of all, I am not a morning person at all. Okay, not at all. I've never been. I worked nights for way too many years, and can excuse me? You were outside. No, no, you were outside. You were outside already. So stop. No, you got to get down. I got to do my stream. Um. So anyway, a night person for years and years and years. So the time for me to get up and get really going is always afternoon. I'm better in the afternoon at getting things done. It's when I've always got things done, just because of my work schedule and those type of things. So I was used to getting home at 7 in the morning, going to sleep, or 7:30 in the morning, go to sleep for 5 hours, get up, and then get things done. Uh, you know, my sleep schedule is a mess. It's always been a mess, and that's just the way that kind of goes. But so that's why a lot of times I'm out there in the heat of the day doing stuff. But that's just part of it. But I was sweating really good, and I was hydrating. I thought I was anyway. I thought I was drinking enough, and I had made the video. I had finished up this part down here in the lower meadow. Had finished that up, came in. I knew I was sweating like crazy, and I'm like, man, I'm like, and I was feeling it. So I came in, made my video, was uploading the video, and I turned the air conditioning on. It was kind of cooling off, having something to drink. And I'm like, I'm gonna go back up into the upper meadow, and I'm gonna do that one section. I had planned on, like I said, today to do the rest. The weather decided that was not going to happen. But so I get up into that upper meadow, and I did the one section by the fencing. Okay, on this side of the driveway. Like so, as soon as you go over the hill, right to the right. So I started doing that, and when I was doing that, I noticed I wasn't sweating, and I went, and I could feel it. I mean, I was like, I'm overdoing it, and I know it, but I wanted to get that one section done. And normally I would continue to push on and work on the rest of it, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not sweating. This is not good. I need to stop. So I came back down, drank a bunch more. It came in the camper, and I crashed and I slept for like a couple of hours. But you have to look and you have to know what those signs are. So that's really, really important when it comes to that. But so that's why I don't do it. I am not a morning person, folks. When we get together as a group, I get up in the morning because that is we have a schedule that we do when we get together, and so that's what I do. But if I don't have to, so there's the other part. If I have to do something, I can do it. But if I'm not punching the time clock, or I'm not like, okay, this is what the schedule is, this is what we're doing, I'm going to do what I can do the other way. So that's just kind of the way I've always done that. So just to be aware. So people were like, well, why aren't you doing it this time? Well, that's why. But I caught it. I saw that was coming on, and once you have livestock, you'll have to be early morning again. No, I understand that. You gotta let the chickens out early. I get all that. I see. The thing is, I don't have a problem with that, because you get up, you do what you got to do, then you go back and lay down again. So, um, that's kind of the beauty of that. But anyhow, all right. So I just wanted to explain that so you guys would know what was going on. How do you catch a swarm? What you have to do is, to catch a swarm, they have boxes that you can set out, where when the swarm leaves the hive, that you hopefully they go into that box is a new place, and you can catch them that way. Or they'll get to a tree and they'll all swarm on a tree, and you can literally go up and scoop those bees. You just take your hand, obviously with your gear on, scoop those bees and put them into a hive. You can do it that way as well, and hopefully you catch the queen, and you can do it that way. So those are kind of the ways that you can catch a swarm. There's a couple other things that you can do to try to get it so that it happens or doesn't happen. But it's just, they get too many, and then they say, see you later. That's kind of how they do. But anyway, I don't work anymore, but I'm up at the butt crack of dawn every morning, because when I was still working, my day started early. Well, and you know what, Carol, and that's the thing too. Even as a child, I was a night person. I've always been a night person. So that's the thing for me. I get more active and I do things at night. That's just kind of always the way it has been. So, but all right, so let's get into topic, guys. What we got? 340 in the chat. We got 99 thumbs up so far. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, which 2/3 of you have not, um, please do so to show support for the channel, and I thank you ahead of time. Also, it makes a really, really big difference with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel as well. So thank you for that reason. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you very much. And I appreciate that. And also, of course, like, comment, and share. That's always, we got to say that too, right? So, all right. So, see, and here's the thing. When I was born at 20 minutes after midnight. So there's, again, I waited until night, and I came at nighttime. So, and it's weird how, I mean, people have different clocks. Like my sister, she's a morning person. She was up with the crack of dawn all the time. Like my grandfather was an early riser, and she'd be up with my grandfather, and she would be singing for him. And that back in those days, thinking about that, it's kind of funny. Where I would be up late with grandma, we would be sitting there at the kitchen table, and this is one of the fondest memories that I have. I'll be honest with you. So grandma would be on her side of the table, having a cigarette, drinking a beer, and reading her book. I'm on the other side of the table with my milk and my cookies, having my book, and we would sit there and not even talk for hours and just be reading our books. And then if we took a break, we would have a little bit of a conversation, and it was very, very cool. I'll never forget that. So, but anyway, so all right. It's a matter of time, right? That's the title of this live stream. We just so there's a lot of reasons for that, and we're going to go over a couple of things that I think are very important. Number one, we have just been downgraded financially. Whoever does our credit rating, they've just downgraded our credit rating as a country. So that is not a good thing, and I'm surprised that hasn't happened sooner with the way that we've been doing what we do. It's when you have a country that basically can print money at will, and it's the standard right now for the world, and you have that going on. you are the ones calling the shots, basically. But we have this other little issue called BRICS. If you guys aren't aware of that, what it is these several countries are going to be working together. Uh, China, Russia. You're also looking at Iran, North Korea, a bunch of other countries in South Africa. I mean, in Africa itself, and also in South America. A lot of companies are getting on board with them because they want out of underneath the U.S.'s thumb, is what it is. And China is offering an option or an opportunity for these people to do that. And that is definitely something to be concerned about, something to be concerned about big time. And, people need to, yeah, a lot of countries are dumping the dollar. Uh, if the dollar becomes devalued, we're going to be in big trouble. Right now, the dollar is okay, and we're good with it, and there's not an issue. Well, there is an issue. It's a growing issue, but right now we're still okay. But the spending that we are doing as a country and going into debt, and this is what always kills me too. How are we going into debt? You know, how are we going into debt? It doesn't matter. We're the ones printing it. So the whole thing. It's like, do you guys remember the pyramid scams that they would do? Do you remember back in the day? That's what it reminds me of. Oh well, we have to borrow money from this country, or we have to borrow from money from. No, we don't have to do any of that. We can just print more money. That's the reality if you want to think about it that way. So they're China's now they're selling bonds and stuff like that. But what a lot of people don't realize too, what China had been doing for quite a while, to the tune of between 10 and 11,000 tons a month, and they've been doing it for the last couple of years. They've been stockpiling gold. Okay, because gold and silver are going to retain value whatever happens. Because that paper dollar that you got in your pocket is a piece of paper. It really doesn't hold any value. The only value that it holds is because our government says that this is worth X, Y, and Z. After the Civil War, well, an example, after the Civil War, what was a Confederate dollar worth after the Civil War? It wasn't worth squat, because we said it wasn't worth squat. So all those people that had all kinds of paper dollars, right? It meant nothing. It was nothing. You couldn't use it for anything. Gold and silver are what's going to hold their value. And so you have China stockpiling gold right now because they're going to use that as a back, for their BRICS whole thing that they got going on. It's another way to try to crush us, as the United States. The only way, and I've talked about this before, guys, and I will talk about it again and again. It's only a matter of time. It's a matter of time. The only way you destroy America is from within. No other country is coming in here. We're not getting invaded. Now, could there be sleeper cells? I absolutely would give you that. Yes, there, and it wouldn't shock me if there's a whole bunch of sleeper cells. Our southern border and our northern border is as porous as it can possibly be. Our border agents are not being allowed to do their job by the government, right? So, that's an issue. So you have this porous border. The drug cartels have a lot of control over a lot of stuff as well. So there's a lot of things. Couple things that with this, okay? If we have a financial collapse, so somebody just talked about the digital dollar, right? So if we have a financial collapse and the dollar ends up being devalued and it's not worth anything, well, then the government can come in and save the day and say, well, listen, we're going to do this digital dollar thing. Hey, Asif, we are doing both printing and borrowing. BRICS will have a gold-backed currency. That's what will kill the American dollar. Yes. Yep. And yes, exactly right. That is exactly right. And that's why China has been stockpiling gold like crazy. But again, you know, Physical gold or paper gold? I would never have paper. Again, what did I just say? All right. I don't stockpile gold at all. I've told you that, guys, a million times. I tell you to put your money, if you're going to put your money, your cash money, put it into junk silver. Your dimes, your quarters, your 50-cent pieces, your dollars, your silver dollars. Absolutely, something that is tradable and those type of things. That's what I would put my money into. I have silver. I don't stockpile gold because gold is too hard to get rid of. And what a lot of people don't understand. I had gold in the past, right? I went out and I had bought. And this is years ago, years and years ago. I went out and I bought. I think I bought 4 ounces of gold. So when I went and bought the gold, there was only certain places that you could buy the gold at, right? Well, then you paid spot. So let's say, and I'm just going to make a number up. Let's say gold is $1,000 an ounce, right? So when you go in and you're buying this gold and you're paying $1,000 an ounce, they're going to charge you $1,050 for that gold because that's the fee or whatever. That's what they're making for selling that gold. And when you go to sell that gold, if you go back to the same place, you don't have to pay that fee again. But let's say you took that gold and you decide to go someplace else, you would have to pay that fee again to sell it. The problem that I don't like about gold, as far as having it, number one, you don't know if it's going to go up or down. So when you buy it, you're taking a gamble like anything else. But the problem with it is you can't take that ounce of gold and go to the grocery store and say, yes, I'm going to buy my groceries and here's an ounce of gold, and gold is going for, $1,400 an ounce. So whatever is, my grocery bill, just give me the rest back in cash. They're not going to take it. The grocery store is not going to take it. Certain banks won't take it. Do the research, and I'm not BSing you guys at all. Okay. um, Again, I like silver because number one, you can get a whole bunch more silver than you can gold for the same amount. Like if you go and buy, and I don't even know what gold is right now. I think it's, what is it, 1800 $1,800 an ounce, something like that. Um, but let's say you did, let's say you had an ounce of gold, and I took that same $1,800 and I went out and bought silver. And I got all kinds of silver bars because you can buy the silver bars, 1 ounce bars as well, and all that type of stuff. I'm going to have a lot more there. When the time comes, something happens, I have a lot of different things that I can barter with. You know what I mean? Like if somebody says, well, you know, post event, they're making this, that, or the other thing. And I go, okay, well, what do you need? Well, I need, 6 silver quarters. All right. I got it. Boom, 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 or whatever. You know what I mean? Or it's an ounce. It's going to be an ounce of silver. You can have that. But when you have that 1 ounce of gold, um, you don't have as much bartering power. That's my point with that. Now, the other thing is with that, and this is important too, you can't eat silver. You can't eat gold. Okay. They're not going to keep you alive. So it's nice to have some. Okay. It's nice to have some, but that should not be your main focus. That absolutely should not be your main focus. So you have to think about that. What am I doing? So that's like a bonus. For me, and I try to pick up silver when I can. I'm always looking through my coins because once in a while you'll pull out a quarter or a dime, and that's awesome. I mean, because basically a quarter, uh, if you get a quarter pre 1964 and older, it is 90% silver. So if you find one of those, that's actually worth about $6.75. So that's pretty nice too. So I always go through all my coins and I check and look for that as well. But or I go to like a flea market and and I'll pick up silver that way. I'm going to tell you something. This was an interesting thing that happened to me. I'm trying to think, when did that happen? I think it was before I left New York, and we used to go. there was a flea market locally that I used to go to all the time, and I liked that. I used to get some good deals over there, and you can always haggle, and I like that too. And there was always a couple of coin vendors, and they would have dimes and quarters and stuff like that, and I would always try to pick up some extra, pay whatever they wanted for that and stuff like that. Well, when silver prices had shot up, they had a bunch of silver, and then the prices went back down. Well, they had paid too much, and they couldn't make a profit on those quarters and dimes and stuff like that, so they just took them out. And I had gone in, and I'm like, well, where's your your junk silver? And I'll never forget, the one guy goes, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I'm talking about your dimes and your quarters that you always have available. I'm not seeing that. Where?" "Oh no, we don't do that." I go, and I looked at him. I looked right at the guy, and I went, "You're a liar." I said, "You absolutely did. I bought them here before like that. So don't tell me you don't do it." But they wouldn't sell it like that no more. So I found that interesting. But anyway, the point I'm making is, when you have your other stuff squared away, and if you're building your silver portfolio up a little bit at a time, that's fine. I like I said, I like having it. I think it's a good thing to have as a barter item as well. I also do liquor. Okay, I got bottles and bottles and bottles of liquor that, when the time comes, that's another barter item. Think about how valuable, if you have a bottle of Jack Daniels in a post event. There's no Jack Daniels company anymore, but I got this bottle of Jack Daniels. How much is that worth? So those are the things, again, that I think about, when it comes to that point in time. So we'll see. Like I said, it's I just I'm more into tangible goods than anything else, because to me, as long as if I can touch it and I can hold it, and I know that it has value, that's important to me. So a lot of people are saying ammo, absolutely ammo. There will come a time. I don't know if you just saw this again. Some Democratic, of course, right? What a surprise. Uh, Congressman, or I think it was a congressman, has just put in another bill, and it got defeated before, and they're trying again, and I don't think it'll go through again. But they're trying to do 1,000% tax on anything to do with semi-automatic weapons. Okay, that could be a pistol, folks. Pistol that you're walking around with on your hip. That is a semi-automatic weapon, because as long as you keep pulling the trigger, it's going to shoot. Right? They're trying to do 1,000% tax on high capacity magazines, all that type of stuff. So the reality would be, if they did that, if that passed, which I don't think that it will, but if they did that, who are the only people that are going to be able to afford to have that kind of stuff then, realistically? The extreme rich, because they don't care how much something costs. It doesn't matter to them. It's insanity. It's insanity. But again, like I said the other day, what does it come down to? It always comes down to control. If they can control you and they own you, and then you belong to them. So I'm a big believer. Again, you hope for the best, but you prepare for the worst. Okay, and I do believe it's a matter of time. All the signs are there. If you're paying attention and you watch what's going on, look at the inflation rate of the cost of things now. You look at the number of people that are living month to month trying to keep their head above water, you know, and heaven forbid, if you got a bill that came in that was $1,000 or $1,500, a lot of people don't have that extra cash sitting around to be able to take care of those type of things. And it's realistically, that's not a lot of money. But with everything going out the door, when you have gas prices now, they're working their way back up again, right? And so let me ask you guys this one. Let's talk about gas prices for a second. What do you see in gas prices? How much have they gone up in your area? It's up 20 cents a gallon down here. With inside of a week, it's gone up 20 cents a gallon for gas. So how much have you seen a change in your area, guys? What are you guys paying? How much has it gone up? So Dawn is saying it's gone up 45 cents a gallon where she's at. 40 cents a gallon up for Malachi's Corner. That's down in North Carolina. Mark is saying 60 cents up to 440. Wow. Yeah. Oz is saying $1 in 4 weeks. That's insanity. That is insanity. So here's the so and that all of that, just so you know, is a direct result of the policies of the government that's in charge right now. Remember that. So, remember that. So we got 490 in the chat, guys. We're at 183 on the thumbs up. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that ahead of time. Again, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithms as well. So I thank you for doing it for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time. So Zane is saying $4 here in New York, Western New York. Okay. Yeah, I think we're at like there's a place that I was going that I was getting it for $3.29 a gallon. Other places were like at $3.49. So I was like, 20-cent difference. Those places are now at like $3.69. And the place that I get it is up to $3.49 now. So, but yeah, just $5.20 a gallon in California. Yeah, that's crazy. That is insanity. So obviously we are now paying more at the pump once again, right? And heaven forbid that they open up drilling and get things going to help, because we could do it and have it here for our own country. But no, they don't do that, right? And I love, somebody had said, well, we're getting all this oil from the other countries so that we don't use ours and we save our oil and stuff like that. We got enough oil, guys, underground here in the United States that we could harvest that would keep us going for the next 500 years. And I kind of have a sneaking suspicion within the next 500 years, we might be able to figure out other ways to do transportation where we don't have to use oil anymore. That's just a guess on my part. I could be completely wrong. But if you look at the technology advancements that we've had from the 1900s, from 1900 to 2000 alone, and you look at what we've done in just the first 23 years of the 2000s, I would say, we'll probably come up with something. So I would say let's not feed those people that hate us in other countries. Let's take care of ourselves. We can be oil independent. We've already were oil independent under our former president, right? Until Sleepy Joe got into office, and now we're back to having to buy it from other people again. And our gas prices, and let's just do a correlation here. When Trump was in office in New York, now I don't know what you guys were paying down south, but in New York, we were paying $2.20 a gallon for gas in New York. That was when Trump was in office. As soon as Joe got elected or selected, or whatever way you want to call it, we'll say elected, just to be on the safe side so we're not causing any problems. Once Joe got in there, gas prices went up immediately, right? Went up immediately. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's insanity. And we've tapped into the oil reserve. We've talked about that on here before, the strategic oil reserve, uh, a lot, a lot. So, but yeah, Yellow just went out of business. They were a trucking company that had been in business for 99 years. All right, 99 years. And at the same time, let's throw in a couple of other things here. We'll keep this going. So here's why it's only a matter of time. So now we've talked about gasoline. We haven't even talked about food yet. We're gonna save food for last. Let's talk about all these new regulations that they're putting in for your appliances for your homes, right? And they want to get rid of this, they want to get rid of that, because we're saving the planet. It's only the United States that can save the planet, not these other countries that are way bigger polluters than us. And think about this too, all the regulations that we have for drilling and for getting oil here. Other countries don't have regulations, so that when they're drilling, they're very dirty, and there's a lot more pollutants. But we'll go buy oil from them, because then we can say, oh, well, look at, we're not doing this with our carbon footprint. right? So, but you'll pay more at the pump because of that. Just food for thought there. Uh, you know, it is insanity. It is insanity. You're going to be this winter. I can't wait to see how it's going to be. Um, do you know anything about gravity batteries? I have not heard anything about that. No, so I couldn't give you an opinion one way or another. But anyway, this winter the electric bills, the gas bills, they're going to go up and up again. They don't go down. That's for sure. They never go down. So your heating for your heating oil, all that type of stuff, it's going to cost you more. It's not going to go down. It's going to be worse. How are you being able to afford to do all the things that you need to do? There is no discretionary money anymore. And that's part of the problem. People aren't spending. You know, they keep telling, oh, the economy's doing great and it's wonderful. I'm not seeing it. I am not seeing it. I am seeing people struggling, having a hard time getting ahead. People staying home for years and years and years and not leaving because they can't afford to leave. Now, and there's some certain or situations where, you know, the mindset is, heaven forbid that I have to actually go out and work for a living, but and that's all part of the problem as well. It's not that the jobs are not out there. A lot of times, people aren't going to. They don't want to work. They don't want to work. I'm going to give you an example of something. I talked to a friend of mine, and one of the guys that he worked with was there for a couple of weeks, and then was like, oh my God, I don't know, this is too much. I can't do this. And it wasn't like some big, huge, technical, tough job. It's just that mindset of a lot of younger people now. They don't want to work. They don't have a work ethic. Uh, you know, and that's kind of sad. Realistically, it's really, really sad that that's that mindset today. So we got gas prices are going up, right? Cost of heating your homes and propane, all that's going up. You had another company shut down. How many companies have we had shut down? Think about all the stores that have pulled up from different parts of the country where they just closed the stores. And the bigger stores, uh, you know, uh, they're gone. They're not there no more. I know, like in New York, we had Sam's Club, and I liked Sam's Club, and I was a member of Sam's Club. And then what they ended up doing, there was two in the Rochester area. There was one in Henrietta, and there was one in Greece, New York. And I was, the one in Greece was around the corner from where I lived for 8 years, so it was convenient. It was awesome, and they just shut down. And they used the excuse of, and I knew it was BS. They said, oh, both of those stores are losing money. Every freaking time I went to either the Henrietta store, Sam's Club, or the Greece store, Sam's Club, they were packed, packed, always busy. So for them to say that they were losing money, it's BS. So there was other reasons why they shut those down. You look at all, like I said, all these businesses that have shut down or out now, like Yellow, the trucking. You know, 99 years in business, 99 years, and now they're gone. So Yellow Freight has been in trouble for a while, borrowed too much when they bought Roadway. Oh, it happens. I mean, you can overextend yourself. Yeah, and I heard that they were a poorly run company. I did hear that too. But yeah, Sam's Club. Yep. Sam's Club was the name of the store. Yep. And I love that store. And then they were gone. Now they're down here. They are down here. So, but to me, it's like, you know, it's crazy that those things are going on, and you have look what's going on in the cities, folks. I mean, the crime is up, and I don't care what city you go into, the crime is up exponentially. Carjackings, thefts, everything, everything. It's up like crazy. I just actually I watched a video and there, yeah, big riot in New York. Yeah, and that was more of an influencer was doing a giveaway, and they people went crazy, and then they charged him. Yeah, they charge. I don't know if you saw that. They charged the influencer that it was his fault that the people right. How is it his fault if he's doing a giveaway? you know, but they got to blame somebody. Right? They got to blame somebody. Look at the food prices. Okay, I went out today, and so because of the rain, I decided, okay, well, it's raining. I can't really do anything outside. I could have cleaned in here. I could have, but I had been wanting to get out and go grocery shopping anyway. So I took that as an opportunity today to go out and go grocery shopping, which I did stock up on a few things because, that prepper mindset is always there. So I got a few things that, extra that I wanted to get. But that's how it always go. But I go to the grocery store, and again, I went to Walmart. I'll tell you exactly where I went to Walmart, and it was packed. The parking lot was packed. The store was packed. One of the things, now I told you I like to buy the spaghetti and meatballs, right? I told you guys that, and I know I've said that before. And they have the off-brand. You have the one that you can pay way too much, like the ravioli brand, Chef Boyardee or whatever it is. But then they have the off-brand for the SpaghettiOs with meatballs. And when I went in there, none of that was available. There was none in there, none. All the high price stuff was there, and it was all pushed to the front, but there wasn't any of the off-brand raviolis, any of the off-brand spaghettios, none of that. None of that was available. That was already all gone. And I realized, okay, it's a Sunday, and it's busy, and it's probably one of the reasons why people were out there busily stocking shelves. I definitely saw that, but that was the one thing I wasn't able to get today. So I love those, and yes, it's, oh my God, there's so much sodium and it's bad for you, blah blah blah. Guess what, folks? Let me let you in on a little bit of the secret. All right, we're all dying. We're all on the same journey. So I don't care how healthy you are. I don't care what precautions you're taking, and you're watching this and you're watching that, and we're still going to end up in the same place. We're still going to end up in the same place. I like food, because you can see I'm fat, right? I like food. I'm going to eat what I like, and that's it. So, that's kind of how it goes. But so yeah, so I know somebody like made the comment, oh well, you should get rid of it because I had gas the other night, right? I had some gas when I did my live stream, and they were like, oh well, if you got rid of the this processed crap that you got behind you and ate something more healthy, you wouldn't have that gas. I'm going to tell you right now, okay, real simple so that you understand. If I drink pop, if I drink a pop, I'm going to burp, right? It happens. Um, it's nothing to do with my flora in my stomach. Uh, you know, depending on what I eat or drink, if I eat something that is spicy, a lot of times I'm going to burp. It happens. You know, so I love it when everybody wants to read something into everything. Sometimes it's the really simple, easy explanation is the right one. So just so you know, but yeah, you can eat fresh vegetables and get gas. Oh my God, broccoli, cauliflower, go eat them. Well, the kind of gas you're going to have with them, you're going to scare people out of the room. Okay, so I'm not fat, just big bone. There ain't no such thing as big bone. No, I could stand to lose 40 pounds. If I dropped 40 pounds, I would be in good shape. But anyway, yes, I did buy beans too. Yeah, eat beans, eat some pork and beans, and tell me if you're not going to be a little gassy having those. Hummus will do that too. You know, but anyway, the point is like things are getting more and more and more expensive. The government is restricting more and more and more things in the name of the green movement, right? They're restricting what you can get and how you can get it, and you're going to pay more money for it. You're not allowed to have this. You're not allowed to asparagus. Yep, JJ was saying asparagus exactly. Deviled eggs, pickled eggs. Eat those and tell me you're not going to get a little gassy. So, but again, everything is getting ridiculously expensive, and people are having a hard time, and it's very, very understandable. Okay. Um, Ed, harder to quit smoking or lose weight in your opinion? Um, Honestly, neighbor Bob, it comes down to your mindset for either one of them. Now, smoking, they have absolutely things in cigarettes that are addictive. We know that. It's been proven now, and that's a fact. Okay, so losing, quitting smoking is very, very difficult because of the nicotine that's in there, the addictive personalities of that. You got to really be locked in if you want to quit. Okay, uh, losing weight, it really comes with losing weight. It comes well. A lot of it would depend. Right now, there's certain medications. If you're on certain medications, they make you gain weight. So that's a tough thing there as well. But realistically, for me, if I want to lose weight, I just cut out sweets. I had a bet. Me and my ex wife one time had a bet, and I'll give you an example. Okay, and so we had this bet, and I won't tell you what the prize was, but we had this bet. Who lost the most weight within inside of a month wins the bet. All right, and I just quit eating sweets. Quit drinking pop. Quit eating sweets. Really was watching what I was eating. I dropped 10 pounds in like 3 weeks. 3 weeks. She had lost two, so she conceded because she knew there's no way she was going to win. But that's just that comes down to discipline. It's how bad you want it. Um, I know, like, so when I quit smoking cigarettes, I quit at 16. And a lot of you will be like, oh, 16, you weren't really addicted to smoking. I was smoking 2 packs a day at 16, folks. I started smoking when I was 12. And, you know, I, I don't do anything half aid. Okay. I'm either in or I'm not in at all. So I liked smoking. And so, hey, Denise, welcome to being a hardcore prepper. Make sure, Denise, that you join us tomorrow. We do the private live stream for hardcore preppers only on Mondays at 8 o'clock. Okay. So now that you're a hardcore prepper, make sure that you join us on Monday, and that'll be up. You'll get the notification now that you're a hardcore prepper, and welcome. So I appreciate that as well. But yeah, you'll definitely hang out with us tomorrow. You'll see us tomorrow, 8 o'clock. All right. Uh, so anyway, but with quitting, when I decided to quit, I said to a buddy of mine, I said, let's quit. And he's like, okay. So I quit, never smoked again. He was smoking back 2 weeks later. A lot of it's right here. It's mental. If you want to do it. I was having a conversation with somebody tonight about a family and their problem, a member of their family who's having some issues. And what I said to them, what you can do is you can be supportive, and that's great. But until that individual wants to stop or change, nothing is ever going to stop or change. You have to want it. So, to me, smoking cigarettes or losing weight, it comes down to how bad you want it. That's what it comes down to. And so it's a choice, like anything else, folks. It's a choice. So, that's what we have to think about. That's what we have to think about. So what do we got? 555 in the chat. We're at 259 on the thumbs up. So again, I'm going to ask really quickly, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and I really do appreciate that. It does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we have, the better off it is for the channel. So I thank you for that reason as well. And again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time for doing so. And we're about 2 minutes out from egg count, guys. So we're going to do that here shortly. But with everything going up and becoming more expensive, uh, I want you to think of a couple things, okay? And all of this is we're talking about is reasons why it's a matter of time. I want to tell you. So we'll do it from this perspective. Is your stress been increased or decreased since Joe Biden took office? We'll do it that way. What? What? Give me a kiss. Oh, thank you. Okay. Is your stress in your life increased or decreased since Joe Biden took office? Right? That's the question that I have for you guys. And I'm seeing almost unanimously, I'm not seeing one person yet saying decreased. I'm seeing everybody's saying increased. And the reason everything is being increased, okay, is because of everything being more expensive, more, as the breadwinners of the family, be it male or female, okay, doesn't matter. If you are the breadwinner of your family, or if you're both working, if you're married and you're both working, the stress alone for the responsibility that you have as a family, as a parent, if it's only one person, which is very rare today, it's very rare that only one person goes to work, okay? But that stress, it causes you problems. It does. I don't care what anybody says. So there's going to come a breaking point, and that we're on that way. I think we're past over the top of that hill, and we're on that slippery slope down. It is a matter of time. Something has to give. It has to. We cannot continue to do what we're doing and survive. As Americans, as Canadians, as Europeans, wherever you are in the world, something's got to give, and you're seeing that with uh, you know with protest and people being up in arms, and a lot of upheaval, and people saying, like, it was just like, remembering the yellow vest movement, right? And what was the cause? Why did the yellow vest movement all stop? Can anybody tell me why the yellow vest movement stopped? Why did the Arab Spring movement stop? Why did the free Hong Kong thing stop? Why did all those things stop? Can anybody enlighten me? I don't remember. There was one event that caused everybody to stop protesting. Asif has the answer. If you want to look in the chat, guys, I won't say it out loud here, but right in the chat. Yes, you guys are very, very smart individuals. Interesting how that event happens. Yeah, ev- nothing happens by accident. Remember this, okay? Nothing happens by accident. So you have all these protests at that point in time all over the world, France, everywhere, right? People are up in arms. They're tired of the governments. They're tired of big business taking advantage. The excessive pay for CEOs. You expected to cut your pay at your job because the company is losing money, or all that type of stuff. Hey, Sue Spratt, thank you very much for becoming a beginning prepper. I appreciate that. Thank you for the support. So you have all these things happening. We're gonna do egg count here, guys, in just a second, okay? But you're having all these things happening, and all of a sudden this event happens, which stopped it in its tracks for basically 2 years. And now all of a sudden, now you are seeing uh, things are rising up again. People are getting pissed. They're tired. They've had enough, and so that's what you're seeing happening. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's a matter of time. There's going to be some single event or a accumulation of events that are going to happen that will be the breaking point, and that'll be the it. That'll be it. That'll be it at that point. And you watch and see how things change there. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and do egg count because now we're way past time. So, how many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Thickneck. So, I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses up, and we will go from there. So, again, let's keep those thumbs up coming as well. Let's keep those thumbs up coming. I'll give you guys just another minute. All right, guys, if you had the same guess as Melissa Viscotti, I think it's how you say her last name. I'm not 100% sure. I hope that I am right. She will be a first time winner with 3 eggs today, and no for Miss Thickneck. Becky's trying to get it dialed in. She's like, I don't know what's going on. They're not laying eggs. And she goes, one day we'll get 7 or 8. Then, the next day we get hardly any. So today it was only 3 eggs today and no for Miss Thick Neck. So very surprising. So very, very surprising. So congratulations to Melissa. You are the winner. Yeah, you've won nothing except for bragging rights. Bragging rights is something. So yeah, the feed is definitely, they've definitely changed the feed. They're giving the birds goat feed now as opposed to the other food before. We used to get the food from Tractor Supply, and that was really, that was not good. They literally like 3 4 eggs a day, which they should never have been that low. So I don't know. I think it was raining up there today, so I don't know why they wouldn't. Maybe that was part of it. Not as active as they normally would be. So, but that's kind of what happens. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So anyway, folks, getting back, talking about it's only a matter of time. When you add stress, high prices of everything, everything continuing to go up. Look at the rent. If you are a renter, you know, so we'll talk about a couple things with that. So if you're a renter, look at the prices of rent, how much they have been increasing the prices of rent. If you are a homeowner, right? You own your home, let's say, or you got your mortgage payment, whatever the case may be, and they come in and they reassess your property, and now they tell you, oh, now your property is worth $30,000-$40,000 more than it was before. So what do? They raise your taxes. I've never seen them come in, and maybe it's just me, maybe it's just me, but I've never seen them come in and say, "Oh no, we're going to have to lower your assessment. We're going to bring it down." I've never seen that happen. The property in New York, I've had that property for I think 10 years now, something to that effect. I think it's about 10 years, right around then. Yeah, because we this year would have started the 9th year up on and obviously Heather and Becky are still there. So, somebody living on the property full time was 9 years. I think it's 9, or is it more? No, 9. It's like time flies so fast, it's crazy. But anyway, with that, it's just they've never lowered it. It's always increase, increase, increase. I told you what they did last year. They doubled the assessment, doubled the assessment. So in an economy that is down the toilet, they're going to make sure they get their money, their taxes, so that they can do whatever they do with it. And it's gotten crazy. So I haven't gotten anything yet from New York for the assessment for this year. So we'll have to see what happens there. Can't sell your home. They now are charging capital gains tax if you don't put it in a real estate 120 days. Really? Wow. Yeah. Here in Boston, Mass, a 1 bedroom apartment is starting at 1,500 a month. That is insane. That's insane. How is anybody supposed Denver's 2,100 for a nice 1 bedroom. Wow. How does anybody afford that? How do people afford that? I don't get it. Or you have New York City 1,500 can't even get you a studio. Wow. Yeah. New York City's insane. I know that. So I know that. Uh, so what happens a lot of times too, and think about this. So you buy a house, you finally think, okay, I'm going to buy a house. Now you have all the responsibilities what comes with owning a home, right? And you become what they call house poor. So you're going to work every day and you're gone most of the time 10, 12, maybe 16 hours a day because you have to pay for your home, right? That you're never there, that you go there and you maybe go to sleep and you don't really get to enjoy. And then heaven forbid you have kids and you have that responsibility. Kids are expensive, folks. Kids are expensive. Let's throw something else out of here at you guys, okay? And this is not a matter of if, this is a matter of when, right? One of these super volcanoes. Now, may not happen in our lifetime, or it might. They don't know. They have no idea. There will be rumblings. There will be warning signs if one of those big ones starts to really get going. But if one of those super volcanoes goes off, wherever they are around the world, and they're all over the world, one of those bad boys goes off, that's a game changer for mankind. You won't have to worry about global warming or the planet warming up if that happens, because so much stuff will go up into the upper atmosphere from those volcanoes that it will cool the planet. And for years, it would put us into what they call a volcanic winter. It's the same thing if there was a nuclear attack. They talk about a nuclear winter because so much crap goes up into the atmosphere, it blocks the sunlight out. These are things that absolutely will happen, excuse me, at some point. They absolutely will happen. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, a lot of stress on people, a lot of responsibility, trying to take care of what you can take care of, and it keeps getting harder and harder and harder with the cost of living continuing to go higher and higher and higher. And the one thing that I'm not seeing go higher and higher and higher, your pay. What you're making an hour is not going higher. So it's very, very tough, and it's very hard on people. So you know all we can do, folks, and I'm not trying to be all just gloom, 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 but this is the reality of what's going on. So at some point, if people start to snap, which would not shock me in the least. I mean, you're seeing it now. People at their wits' end, and they're like, screw it. It happens. And I don't know if you guys remember, there was a guy, I think it was in Colorado, and he had a business, and the town started messing with him because there was people in the town, at the Good Old Boy Network, and he wasn't in the favor of the right people, and they kept screwing with him and screwing with him and screwing with him. And so what he eventually did, and I'm not saying this is right, I'm not saying this is right, but what he eventually did, he took a bulldozer, yeah, killdozer, yep, exactly, outfitted it with, fabricated and welded this thing that he dropped down on top of this bulldozer, and there was not a way out. So he knew it was a one-way trip. Once he left there and went on his mission, there was no going back. He wasn't going to be okay. And he went in and he destroyed the town, and they were trying to, shoot him and everything, and they couldn't. They couldn't get at him. He had cameras out there, and he was using the cameras to see. And the only reason he ended up getting stopped because he got stuck. It's the only reason. There's nothing that they could do. There was nothing that they could do. He got to a point. He got to his breaking point, and he said, "Screw it." And I personally believe you're going to see those type of events happening more and more and more as people are being taxed to death, or they're, think. I want you to think about this. None of us like to, I shouldn't say that. I've worked on jobs that I've really enjoyed. Now, would I rather be home? Of course, but it wasn't like drudgery to go to work. But a lot of people, they go to work and it's drudgery. They hate going to work. They do what they have to do because of responsibility. Well, when you have management that doesn't give a crap, and when you have the higher ups that want to screw around and play games, and they do the write up game, and they do all these type of things, and mess with people all the time, and then how many recent events have we seen where a former employee of XYZ company has gone back in and shot a whole bunch of people? It's happening more and more and more frequently. And yeah, they call it going postal. But that's what happens. People get to that breaking point. And that's why I always say, um, you know, treat people with respect and dignity, because you don't know what they're going through, but you don't know what kind of day that they're having. A little bit of kindness goes a long way. And to me, it's like just be respectful of people. And I think that that's a big part of things that we should be doing with each other, is just being respectful. It's unfortunate that that's not the case today. It really is. I mean, it's just because it should be. You know what I mean? Uh, that pressure, people only take so much, and if they snap, uh, bad things can happen. And I'm not saying in every instance. I'm not saying in every case, but a lot of bad things can absolutely happen. So what are we at? 482 in the chat. We're at 332 on the thumbs up. Let's set a goal of 400. Why not, right? Why don't we do that? How about that Mega Millions lottery? It's at 1.5 billion. 1.55 billion. Yeah, that's a game changer right there. Yeah, if you win something like that, it definitely is a game changer. You'd have to be so smart with what you would do with that money. You would have to be really, really smart with what you did with that money. So I'd like to have that responsibility. I'll take that chance. So, uh, yep, the Gauntlet with Clint Eastwood. Yep, and Sandra Locke. Yep. Yeah, I could get used to that. It would be an adjustment, but I think that I could figure out where to spend quite a bit of that money, making things a whole lot better down here. Um, Folks, if I won that kind of money, what I would have underground in short order, and when I say short order, 6 months, a year, because people would be working around the clock, it would be crazy what I would have underground, just underground. Not even to say what I would have above ground, but there, you could do a lot of good. You could absolutely do a lot of good that way too, and I would definitely try to do that. But I would have private investigators going out, finding people for me that were really trying, struggling, but trying, and be able to give them some kind of a blessing to help them. You know, that's what I would want to do. Not Joe Blow that sends me a letter and saying, "Hey, I can't pay my gas and electric bill because of your own fault," or whatever the case may be. I want to help people that are really trying to struggle. That's what I would try to do. But anyway, that's yeah. I would be instantly retired as well. Yeah, yeah. I would be doing a lot of traveling too, Simon. No, I would definitely try to do a lot of good things with that if I could. So we have 478. Yeah, so we got 349. So we're going for 400 for the thumb. So we are 51 away from that. So let's keep those up coming, guys. Again, it does make a huge difference with the algorithms, and I appreciate it for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right, so we're going to do some shout outs. So now that we're behind on that as well. Oh, I'm going to tell you what, my kids would be set up. I would set up trust funds for all three of the kids. My mom would be set. Becky would be set. My niece Jeannie would be set. They would all be taken care of. They would not have to worry. And actually, the way that you do that realistically, and not that I haven't thought about this, right? You might give them, maybe you buy them a home or something to start out with. Then you give them an allowance. You give them an allowance every year. Hey, Trekker, thank you very much for upgrading your membership. I appreciate that. We got Village Homestead. One grocery item I bought for 3 years went from 15.77 to 27.99 just last month, and that's all the stores and online prices. Wow, yeah, that's a huge increase, and that's 3 years. Up over $12 in 3 years. That's insanity. Thank you very much for the donation as well, and thank you for sharing that. Yeah, things have gotten out of control price wise, and they wonder why people are having issues, right? All right, so first of all, we have Heavenly Hills Homestead. Definitely check him out. They're growing giant vegetables, and he's got that pumpkin going right now that's enormous. He's doing really good with that. You have Icky Can up in Canada, real good guy. Definitely check him out as well. There is Angry Prepper down in New York City. That is Jason. You have Alaska Prepper. That's Rudy, really good guy. Rudy's awesome as well. There's also Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Two different channels, same guy. Definitely check him out as well. Unbelievable watching him build and do what he's doing up there. You have Demcad. There is Corporal's Corner. You have Bjorn Hansen. You have ADK Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizariza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. Really interesting story there that he does, and a lot of good information that you can take out of that. It makes you think. We have Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast in Seattle. There is Magic Prepper in North Dakota. You have Wrangle Star, that's Cody. Really good channel. A lot of good information on his channel as well. Uh, Full of really good, useful tips. You have Red Poppy Ranch. Coming from Europe, we have Survival Lily. There's Kyle's Cabin up in Minnesota. Nice young couple, Kyle and Sierra up there doing their thing. Really nice couple. You have, let's see, Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods. Husband-wife team. Really interesting to watch what they do. Unbelievable. They split their time between Michigan and Alaska, and they're very, very squared away people. You have Green Greg's. There is Southern Prepper 1 with his Boots on the Ground series. Real good series there. There is Gray Man Prepping. You have St. Bernard Acres with Joe. There is Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy have been around for a long time. Great channel. A lot of good information on their channel. You have the Nomadic Movement down in Panama. Nice young couple doing their dream down there. There is the Green Dream Project out in the desert in Arizona. Nice couple doing their thing out there. Camping with Steve Wallace doing stealth camping. Really interesting channel. Shows you how to do stealth camping. Really fun. Bush Doctor Survival. There is Monkey Works. You have the Needy Homesteader. Really good channel there as well. A lot of good information with her channel. Boss of the Swamp. He's been around for a long time. Really interesting stuff there. Another guy that knows how to build. There's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond's a real smart guy. Anything you want to know about the Grand Solar Minimum, he has that information. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. I like her because she says it just like it is, and I like that. There is City Prepper. You have Lumina Acres. There is Suspicious Observer. You have Bear Independent. The Uneducated Economist. There is Bushcraft Bear down in the Canary Islands of La Palma. You have Mary Greeley News, giving you all the latest updates and everything that is going on with Yellowstone. There is Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. There is Ice Age Farmer. You have, if you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall's a great guy, really passionate about the weather, but he also gives back to the community in a big, big way. So I have a lot of respect for him. There is Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand as well. Shares the information, lets you decide what you think of it. So really cool that you can channel that way as well. There is Deep South Homestead. There is The Outsider. You have The Fit Farmer. There is Prep Rebel. Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Townsend's, showing you how to live it like it's in the 1800s. Good information, definitely something to check out. You have The Prepared Mind. You have Pinball Preparedness. There is East Tennessee Preparedness, The Economic Ninja, and last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. A lot of good channels out there, a lot of good information. I think we should be supporting each other. I think it's important that we do so. So definitely, and then a bunch of you put other channels out here as well, which is fine. Again, we should be supporting each other. That's just my thought on that. So we're at 366, so we need 34 more thumbs up, guys. 34 more thumbs up to hit our goal. I want you to put it in perspective here, guys, okay? And this is a scenario that I've used for years, and I think it's the most plausible thing that could happen. I tell people this, and I have conversations with people. I will say, if the lights went out tomorrow and we're not coming back on, for whatever reason, EMP, just a grid down situation, an attack on the grid, whatever the case may be, I said, how prepared are you for that, right? Simple, something as simple as that. The grid goes down, they can't get it back up for XYZ amount of time, and it may be 6 weeks, 2 months, who knows? How prepared are you for that? And the majority of people tell me, not at all. And that's the reality, unfortunately. Most people are not prepared at all. So if you think like that and then you go, okay, what would I have to do to put myself in a situation to get through that type of event and to not only survive through that type of an event, but to thrive? See, the thing is not just to survive, my friends, okay? Surviving is great. We all want to live, right? But we want to thrive while we're doing it. Being there and suffering and going through misery and where it just sucks the entire time, I don't think that would be a whole lot of fun. And that's just my opinion. So I am actively putting myself in a position where when that time comes, I'm going to be ready for it. I'm going to be in a position that I'm not only going to survive, but I'm going to thrive, that I don't have to rely on the government to come in and save the day and those type of things. Okay. I want to rely on me and my people. That's it. That's all I want to rely on. We come together, we do what we got to do, and we take care of business, and we can be very, very well in any kind of situation. So we are 20 away now. We're at 380 on the thumbs up, guys. We need 20 more thumbs up to hit our goal of 400. So let's keep them coming. What we are going to do now is we are going to say we are Legion. We are one. We're all over the world. We're a huge family, a huge network of people. Where's everybody from tonight? I see we got Philip in the house from Melbourne, Australia, still on the Weiss account, which is okay. We have Dayton, Ohio with Rhonda. Ozarks, Arkansas Hillbilly with Randall. We got Michigan with Bubba One. The beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds with Pennsyltucky Granny. St. Augustine, Florida. Uh, the UP of Michigan with Dawn. Leesburg, Florida with Joan. We got Utah in the house with Alyssa. We got Dawn, or I missed it. Start again, sorry. We got Lisa in Mass coming in. East Central Illinois with Lana. Middle of Georgia with Nikki. Southwest Virginia Mountains with Dovely. Texas in the house with Sonia. Deerfield, Florida with Wolves 55. West Texas with April. Caesars Creek, Ohio with Mikey. Greenlee County, Arizona with Codster. Belmont, Texas with the comedian. Flat, Florida with Andrea. Yes, it is. Wisconsin is in the house. We have Georgia's in the house with TJ. South Carolina with Jesse. Edgewater, Florida with Judy. Omaha, Nebraska with Larry. Waterloo, New York with Sharon. Cape Cod, Mass. Fort Worth, Texas with Sonia. Palaco, Idaho with Janita. Tucson, Arizona with Angela. Medina, Tennessee with Marcia. Ontario, Canada with Dave. Southwest Ontario, Canada with Julie. We have Minnesota's in the house with Gemini. Brian in Bath in the UK. Glad to have you here, Brian. Thanks for staying up with us. West Central Ohio with Dale. We have Orlando, Florida with Tina's in the house. So again, guys, we are all over the place, all over the country, all over the world. We're a huge, huge network. Human, Idaho. Baking Spuds fully loaded. That's funny. So, like I said, again, we're all over the place, all over the country. We're a huge, huge network of people. If we ever came together, how dangerous would we be? A bunch of people that are prepared, that are ready, and working together. I'm going to encourage you guys to network as much as you possibly can. We have Central New York with Village Homestead in the house. Huntsville, Alabama with Alabama Grana. So, we're all, if we came together and networked, that would be awesome. Easton, Pennsylvania with Brick. I think it's important to try to network if you can. We got Georgetown, Louisiana with Monica. Decatur, Alabama with Gunny. Greenville, Tennessee with Leslie. So again, work together, help each other out, be as ready as we can be. That's the most important thing. We don't know how much time we got. Oh, Green Greg's is in the house. Hey, Tony. Tony, Alabama with Green Greg's. I give you a shout out every live stream, my friend. Every live stream, I give you a shout out. Uh, Hard to get to know neighbors unless a crisis happens. You're right, Brick. It is. It absolutely is. But with connecting with like-minded people, I think is a good way to try to do that. People with the same mindset. It feels kind of lonely in central Wisconsin. I can imagine. I can imagine. We got Dwindle, Virginia with Mr. Black Cat 52. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of good information out there. If you connect with the right people, it's going to put you in such a better shape to weather whatever storm may happen. We got Joyce Taylor in West Virginia. So welcome, guys. But we're all over the place. We're all over the country. We're all over the world. Uh, I think it's important. I really do. Your immediate neighbors, a lot of times you might know some of them, but you don't know a lot, which is tough. But if you can connect with like-minded people in your area, it's going to give you an advantage. And again, having that plan, guys, is so important. We did a whole stream on having a plan, and I think so. I think it's really, really important, that we do that. You have to have a plan. You have to come together. Um, if you don't, like I said, I don't see very many people trying to play the lone wolf game and making it long term. It's just not doable. You can't stay up 24 hours a day. You can't do all the things that you need to do. You can't keep your family safe unless you have a group. And that's the only way that we're going to make it. And I'm going to tell you right now, and I've said this before, and I will say this again. If you are not part of a group when SHTF happens, I guarantee you will be afterwards, or you won't be here. Okay? One of those two things is going to happen. Either you're going to group up with somebody, or you're going to be gone. Those are your options. That's it. Now, to me, I would rather make the choice now of who I want to associate myself with after an event, who I feel like I can trust. Too many loose cannons out there. Too many people with the elevators not going all the way to the top, if you know what I mean. And so I don't want to be locked into a group that's going to be dangerous after an event. I want to be with people that I can trust, that I know are going to have my back, that we've been working together, and that we will continue to work together after an event. And I think that that's really, really important. So, but that's just my take on it. Okay. So, anyway, 396. We need 4 more thumbs up to hit our goal of 400. And so, thank you ahead of time again for doing that. Again, like, comment, share the stream. I appreciate that as well. And remember, folks, like I said, you just got to keep at it. You just got to be diligent, stay focused, take care of what you can take care of, control what you can control. If you do that, you're going to be just fine. Do the best that you can. And, that's all we can do. Green Greg says, love what you do. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate it. I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job making sure that the chat stays clean. You guys are amazing, and I very much appreciate what you do. It means a lot to me. It really, really does. I can focus on talking, maybe answering a question or more than a question, but trying to answer some questions. And you guys take care of all the people coming in acting stupid. So very, very much appreciate that. Also, I want to thank all you guys for being here, supporting the channel. It means a lot to me. A lot of fun, a lot of fun. Again, remember, Hardcore Prepper live stream every Monday, 8 o'clock. You have to be a hardcore member to be able to be in that live stream. If you would like to do that, go to my main page here on my main page here on YouTube. You'll see the join button. You click that, you become a hardcore member, and then you can join us in that live stream. So it looks like somebody are joined tonight. So we will see her hopefully tomorrow, and she will become part of that family because it's a very small group of people. It's very personal. I'm able to answer a lot more questions. Anybody has questions, I'm more than happy to answer questions over there. And we have a great chat on top of that. So anyway, guys, Remember, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we truly will be in much, much better shape. Uh, Prep hydration supplies, powder drink mixes. Yeah, the comedian. Yes, I've talked about that a lot. Um, your fruit punches, your sweet teas, your tea bags, lemonade mix, grape mix, whatever kind of tang, all that type of stuff. Also, really good, really important to have because you want to change up that taste. Drinking water all the time is great, but you really want to have something that you can change that taste with, which is a good thing too. So thank you for mentioning that, and I just figure I might as well mention that really quickly. Also, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. It's the greatest mantra ever because it works so well. You set realistic goals and then you set about to making them happen. It may take longer than you hope they would, but they will get done. Work at it methodically, get it done. Once you get done with that goal, you check it off and then you're on to the next one. And that's important. So remember that. That's a big, big time part of it. You have to have that squared away. Uh, you know, don't listen to negative people telling you what you can't accomplish because you can accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. Anything. Yeah, Green Greg's another thing too, and I've said this to you guys before. Right here, instant coffee. 20-year shelf life on your instant coffee. It may not taste as good as fresh coffee, but you'll have it. And even after you open it, it's not like it's going to go bad. So your freeze dried instant coffee, definitely a good thing to have as well. Because who doesn't like a good cup of coffee here and there, right? Especially 6 months after SHTF when you can't get it anymore. So anyway, yeah, Kool-Aid, all that type of stuff. Really, really smart stuff to have. So anyway, guys, I will see you all later. Please be safe, everybody. Keep prepping. Take care of your business. Control what you can control. Do the best you can. All right. Have a great night, and I will talk to you later. Prepper Nurse One out for now.